When I was working for Lucasfilm at Skywalker Ranch, I was often in the archives with all the props and costumes from Star Wars and Indiana Jones movies. And as I examined the artifacts of the Indy movies, I became curious about the inspirations that had created these things. I started researching the real history and archaeology behind Indiana Jones. And what I found was extraordinary. It was enough to fill a museum. There are so many connections into real history and archaeology that I was astonished. It took me all over the world tracking these down. I filled journals with my findings, and that's why we've decided to bring it all to you in a documentary. So I tracked down many of the filming locations where Raiders of the Lost Ark was shot in Tunisia and in Hawaii. But I went farther than that. I traveled to places where the real Indiana Jones was supposed to have been in 1936. That meant seeing Cairo and northern Peru, and that's when things got really interesting. Raiders of the Lost Ark inspired me so much that I went and got my PhD in archaeology. Now the journey has come full circle, and I'm using all my training to investigate the reality behind the cinematic fantasy. So join us on a quest like no other as we bring you the definitive story of the archaeology of Indiana Jones.
I'm Dr. David West Reynolds. I'm known for my #1 best-selling Star Wars guidebooks, where I expanded the Star Wars universe and created lightsaber crystals. But I am an archaeologist. I got into Star Wars by tracking down and rediscovering the desert planet filming locations in Tunisia, which had actually become lost, even to Lucasfilm. They had to hire me as a location scout for the prequels. I produced a successful Kickstarter documentary about that adventure a few years ago. Now, for my next project, I'm turning to Indiana Jones. No matter how many times you've seen the Indiana Jones movies, you've never seen them through the eyes of an archaeologist. And that's the experience I want to give you in this project. You'll be amazed at how much traces back to roots in authentic history in Raiders of the Lost Ark. There are authentic period vehicles, there are authentic artifacts, even authentic Egyptian hieroglyphic inscriptions. We don't usually go to Hollywood for our history, especially not to fantastic adventure movies, but Raiders of the Lost Ark is something special. It's a unique phenomenon. That's why we have to get this video out and help people appreciate a whole new dimension of the icon that is Indiana Jones. I have given presentations about this material at museums and universities from coast to coast, even at Lucasfilm official celebrations and at the Real Explorers Club in New York City. These are stories that are entertaining whether or not you're an Indiana Jones fan. But up to now, the only way to hear all of this has been to see me in person. So help us bring this all to video so we can share it with the world at last. Join our adventure, back this project, and become a part of the archaeology of Indiana Jones.